The American Horror Story. Let's talk about that. Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Alma Valentino. I am the host of this channel, my channel, and thank you for being here. Let's dive into this horror story. So the last time I talked about transgender issues a little bit, I put kind of my line into what my thoughts are about that and why specifically, like why did I do this channel, why I feel like it's so important to talk about what's going on in the United States, even though I do not live there. Again, because unfortunately, the United States, it's exporting this woke culture, which is very damaging and dangerous. So today we are going to keep talking about transgender issues, mostly because it is the agenda, I think. We have this oh my god, I don't even know how to say this. Like we have, what's the name of this mother, Dylan Mulvaney. You know what? This guy, I don't care what to say. This guy, I thought for a while that he was joking, you know? I was hoping, like with the Balenciaga stuff, you know, what happened with the pictures of kids. I saw that, and for a fraction of a second, I thought, naively, obviously, that someone was gonna go out there and say, this is so inappropriate, right? So why are we doing this as a culture and exploiting children and putting them in these sexual situations? But that, that never happened. Just as with this Dylan Mulvaney, I don't know how to say his last name, I don't care really. And just as with the Balenciaga stuff, I really, for quite a while, because it was so ridiculous, that I really thought he was gonna come out at a point and say like, well, this was a social experiment and look how ridiculous this is, blah 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 blah. But then he got surgery and stuff like recently, I think. So now I'm like, okay, definitely, like I had lost hope with this dude. But with the surgery, I was like, okay, so this really isn't a joke. This is real. What the hell is going on? It's just, it's too much. It's too much for a person like me. Imagine kids. This is insane. But whatever. So before I go into my thoughts, because I think it's ridiculous that every time someone says something, you have to go like, this is my opinion and my opinion only, and this is not the reality of it. It's like, we have to do that, but them, they are owners of reality and truth and all of these terms that actually mean nothing when they're put in that context. So that's sad. Let me say that first. Because just saying I think should be enough. Now you have to disclaim everything, like my opinion, and then anyways you're gonna get attacked and whatever. Go after me. I don't freaking care. I do not care. Because if that's gonna be the price, that's cheaper. That's way cheaper than doing nothing and just let this train get to destination. So before going into this, I wanted to shout out to some content creators and personalities that are out there getting a lot of hate. I'm gonna miss a lot, but I follow these people. I encouraged you to do so. Let's go. Let me see. And let me say, I do not agree 100% with these people. I still think that having these conversations, it's necessary and should be valued more. So, let's say, Matt Walsh, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your names. Again, I'm trying my best. English is not my mother language, so Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Brett Cooper, Amala. Oh, this is I'm certainly gonna mispronounce this. Sorry, Amala Ekpunobi, and so many others. Okay, but these are coming like at the top of my head right now. And I encourage you to support these people, because a lot of them, especially Jordan Peterson, and we're going to talk about him. I want to talk about him in the next video, especially about him in the next video. They are having a tough time. Some of them have thicker skin than others. Good for them, great, but still, that does not mean that we shouldn't show support. Because they're putting themselves out there in the risky position. Even, I mean, let's look just fast to what's happening to Jordan Peterson. He's about to lose a lot, and it's they're coming. It's hard for me to articulate this because I get angry and I'm trying to swallow all this because I want to keep this friendly. Although I know it's not the best approach, but I'm gonna try at least. They're trying to destroy this poor man. And everything he built up with years of study and it's his profession. I mean, I'm gonna leave that for the next episode, because I just need to calm down. we're not here for him today, okay? But I want to shout out to them, just thank them, all of them, for what they're doing, because it's not easy. It's time consuming, it's energy consuming, and it's not valued enough in our society right now, but it should. So that's to you. Thank you for everything you do. That being said, the American Horror Story. What's going on with kids? The fact that, because I'm far away, I know that, okay? I'm very far from you guys. Again, I apologize for the glasses, but I'm gonna take them off for a while. I know I'm far away, and I know a lot of people are gonna say like, why do you care? I don't need to be a mother. I don't need to be a station. I don't need to be anything to worry about human beings. Okay? And what you're doing to kids, it's scaring the shit out of me. Bleep. It is. It's just too much. And for people that are saying like, oh, what did you know? I want to share this little experience of myself, that it might resonate with someone, or some other people might say like, oh, that's not what's going on with these people or whatever. I used to have what I would describe, what today would be described as gender dysphoria when I was younger, which wasn't at all gender dysphoria. Let me explain myself. and younger, I mean, maybe from 16, 17 to 20 something, 23, let's say 23, 22, 22, 23 years old, I was very unhappy with being a woman. I wanted to be a man. That's the simple way I can put it. I didn't think as myself, like I was a man. Although, at a point, I used to say, like, I'm a homosexual man trapped in a woman's body. That was, like, kind of my belief. That's what I felt like, okay? But the reality of it is, if you got it, you got it, that I was not happy with the way the world interacted with me as a woman. Let me say that again. I was not happy with the way the world interacted with me as a woman. So how people saw me, how people talked to me, about me, how people looked at me. And parentheses, this is very important, because when trans women go out there and say, like, I'm a woman who is an umbrella, or I feel like, or this saying like, day 200 of girlhood. Bitch, you know nothing about being a girl. Because let me tell you what being a girl feels like, what it is like. It's wearing your uniform. Because again, I'm from Chile, so you go to school, you wear a uniform, which is a great idea, because as Jordan Peterson says, it makes you uniform. I'm not gonna go through this history of that in my country, but it was exactly for that reason, so that every kid would be the same, okay? So I would go out, I would go to school, 11 years old. I didn't have tits. I didn't even have my period yet, wearing my school uniform. And I would get shot out the most disgusting pornographic things in the street, making me so self-aware of my sexuality when I haven't even, again, had my period yet. I wasn't sexually active. I had no sexual experience whatsoever. That's girlhood. So don't come with your hiking heels and tell me that you know intrinsically what it feels like to be a girl, because you have no idea. Just as I do not know what it feels like to be a man or a boy. I don't have that experience, because that's part of life, and that's part of what builds your character and your womanhood or your masculinity. The experience that you live through your life, through your teenage years, through your prepubescent years. It's just not that easy. Close the parenthesis. So I was this homosexual man trapped in a woman's body. I have to say right away that I knew that I was educated enough, smart enough to know that this would probably go away. Because I would say to my friends, like, if this doesn't go away when I'm 35, I will change my gender. Being absolutely aware that that would still be me, a woman, trying to pass as a man. Not that I would become a man, because that's just not possible. Okay, so why am I saying this? Why am I telling you this? To try to put out there the very, very big difference between being uncomfortable with the world interacting with you and being uncomfortable with your own body, because that is gender dysphoria. I did not have gender dysphoria. Today, I would have been diagnosed like that, certainly, which is terrifying. But I wasn't. And that's what happened with a lot of people and with a lot of girls. That's why we have so many girls. That plus the hysterical thing that I am a woman, I was a girl. I think I'm allowed to say this, okay? We are like that. Women are like that. We are more emotional, empathic, and we tune to these things. So it's easy because we suffer from anxiety and a lot of stuff. And then you have puberty and hormones. And so it's so easy to get these people confused. But I was very self-aware that my problem was not me being disgusted with my body because I felt like it was wrong, which I'm not judging. I really feel for people that feel that way because it must be awful. I cannot imagine how difficult it must be to wake up every day and feel like alienated from your own body. That's just, I feel for you, and I'm there if you need to talk, if you need support. I might be able to do very little, but I feel for you. My point is, if we dive into this more and better, we would be able to see that most of these girls, especially girls, because we know that normally it's men that have this problem, and now we have all of these teenage girls out there that are like transgender. It's not about you. It's about how the world interacts with you. And I think this has a lot to do with feminism and the patriarchy and the faults that nobody talks about that surround this subject, which I want to dive in my next episode. So I hope you will stay around and maybe go check that. I might get some people angry when I talk about that, but I think, again, we need to talk. So trying not to make this longer, I'm gonna close up here. I hope sharing my experience, as little as it was, might help people to feel not alone in the sense that I feel so weird about myself and the way people see me, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I am trans. Okay? It's a whole other thing. And just a reminder that we know very little about this, about trans people, about transgender, about gender dysphoria. And if you are interested in this because you feel weird, because you have this problem, or because you are a parent that doesn't quite know much about this, it might feel weird coming from a woman that identifies as a woman that has no problems with my gender. Not saying that I don't have problems at all, because that's not true. I highly recommend you to go watch Back Angel's channel and Blair White's channel. This is a transgender woman and a transgender man, obviously, who are very honest about their experiences, who are against kids transitioning, and they are very eloquent, and they explain why, and they share their experiences, and I value that, because that's not easy. Not one transgender person who is a success, like a successful story. I think no one had it easy, and no one will go truly and honestly and say, oh, it's wonderful. Being trans is beautiful. You should want to be trans. that's just BS, total BS. So go check them. Consider doing the YouTube things. If you're gonna do anything, please comment down below. Leave your thoughts. If you don't agree with me, if you have a similar experience being young and feeling awkward about more your surroundings than your actual body, maybe share something or leave the topic to talk, or if you want me to talk about something else, I am open to everything. So that would be it. Thank you for sticking around if you made it this far, and see you on the next one. Bye.